All right, we're going to look at Psalm 35 today. And there's a lot of thoughts that I want to share with you in this psalm. Let's go ahead and dive in. It's a Psalm of David. It's probably not hard to figure out why it's called that. Look at verse 1. Contend, Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me. Take up shield and armor. Arise and come to my aid. Brandish spear and javelin against those who pursue me. Say to me, I am your salvation. Now listen, if you've ever been persecuted for doing what is right, this is a psalm you can relate to. And David wrote many psalms which had this sort of ring to them, because he was a man who did what was right in the sight of the Lord, and he was hated and persecuted for it. We see that, especially with Saul, King Saul, who hunted him in the wilderness for years. He was running for his life. This is exactly what he's talking about here. He's saying, God, I need help. I need you to fight my battles for me, literally, and defend me, protect me, come to my rescue, whatever it takes, because I'm under attack. Notice how he says, say to me, I am your salvation. If you read the other translations, they talk about saying, speak, O Lord, and say that I am saved. In other words, declare me righteous, declare me innocent. Speak on my behalf. I am depending upon you. So many times we pray, God, I need your presence. Come walk with me, guide me, direct me, lead me. Be close by me. Sometimes we need God to speak on our behalf, to defend us. Verse 2. May those who seek my life be disgraced and put to shame. May those who plot my ruin be turned back in dismay. Verse 3. May they be like chaff before the wind, with the angel of the Lord driving them away. So he goes on in his prayer. May those who want to kill me be disgraced. They're plotting my destruction. They're trying to wipe me off the map. They're after my life. God, you got to stop them. Don't let them get away with it. Send your angel. Send your guardian angels to drive them away, to scatter them, to disperse them. Don't let them succeed. David lived in a violent world. He lived in a world where people could take out their frustrations on him. They could beat him up. They could murder him. They could hurt him. He was in danger. That's what we're seeing in this psalm. And so he's crying out to God. Verse 4, may their path be dark and slippery, with the angel of the Lord pursuing them. So he's saying, God, you send your angels after them, pursue them, catch up with them. Their path is treacherous. It's a slippery slope. They're falling to their destruction. Listen, God does not always deliver us from the consequences of our sin. We don't always get out of the bad decisions that we make scot-free. Sometimes we have to experience the consequences of our actions. But what David is saying here, God, when people are maliciously, wickedly, intentionally, deliberately, purposely, willingly are after us, they're actively trying to destroy us. God, you got to intervene. You got to step in. You got to save me from these guys. I'm depending on you. So he's praying here, I'm in danger. I'm in danger of death, of violence, of harm. And God, I need you to step in. Your angels, your heavenly host, your heavenly armies, they can fight my battles for me. They can protect me. They can rescue me. They can save me. You can intervene in my situation. I am depending on you. Now, listen, the Christian life is not always easy. The Bible tells us in this world, we're gonna have trouble. Trouble is gonna come our way. No matter how much good we do, no matter how much truth we speak, no matter how much of a light we shine, sometimes the darkness hates the light. And when you're shining the light, the darkness tries to snuff it out. And sometimes in this life, people try to snuff out our lives. And this is exactly what David is saying. When you're doing the right thing, Sometimes the wrongdoers don't appreciate it. They get angry. They get upset. They might even try to snuff out your life. But he says, God, you gotta step in. You gotta save me from this. So listen, remember, when you're walking with God, there's a battle for your soul. There's a battle for your mind. There's a battle for your heart. And there's a battle for your life. And sometimes, friends, that battle goes physical. That battle gets real ugly. And that's what he's talking about here. He says in verse 5, since they hid their net for me without cause, and without cause dug a pit for me, may ruin overtake them by surprise. May the net they hid entangle them. May they fall into the pit to their ruin. So he's saying, they set traps for me. They set snares for me. They set up ambushes for me. They dig holes, pits for me to fall in. They spread a net for me. They lay a snare for me to get caught in. But listen, God, you got to intervene. Turn it around. May they fall into their own traps. May they fall into their own snares. May they fall into the pits that they dug for me. May they get caught in the net that they spread for me. May they eat the fruit of their own deception. May they reap the whirlwind of their own choices. And notice how David said, may ruin overtake them by surprise. He says, God, when they least expect it, when they think everything's going my way, when they think they got me on the run, when they think I'm defeated, God, that's when you strike. That's when you do a surprise attack. Surprise attack on the enemy and his demons is one of the rules of spiritual warfare. And then David says in verse 7, then my soul will rejoice in the Lord and delight in his salvation. My whole being will exclaim, who is like you, Lord? You rescue the poor from those too strong for them, the poor and needy from those who rob them. So he says, God, if you do this for me, my soul will rejoice. My heart will be glad. My spirit will sing and celebrate. You will be praised. You will be glorified. People will talk about what you did. You rescued the weak. You rescued the helpless. You rescued the poor. You rescued the oppressed from those who were oppressing them. You defend the defenseless. You came to my rescue. You delivered me from my enemies. You pulled me out of the pit. You snatched me out of the lion's den. You snatched me out of the jaws of the bear. You rescued me. Thank you, Lord. Now, verses 8 through 11 tell us about David's enemies. He says, ruthless witnesses come forward. They question me on things I know nothing about. They repay me evil for good and leave me like one bereaved. And we could go on and look at these things, but the point is this: when we walk with God, we should expect persecution. Jesus said, if they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. It's part of the deal. If you follow Jesus, you must deny yourself and take up your cross and follow him. And that means there's a price to pay. And sometimes that price is paid in the form of persecution. Sometimes that price is paid in the form of suffering. Sometimes that price is paid in the form of pain. Sometimes that price is paid in the form of even physical abuse, physical harm, imprisonment, torture, and sometimes even death. But David says, I'm depending on you, God, because they are wicked. They are treating me unjustly. They are judging me wrongly. They are accusing me falsely. They are maligning me. They are gossiping about me. They are slander. Me, they are hurting me. They are attacking me, and I need your intervention. And so this psalm is a wonderful psalm to pray when you are being attacked, when you are being accused, when you are being persecuted, when you are being judged wrongly, when you are suffering unjustly. This psalm is one to pray when you feel like the world is crashing down around you, and you need divine intervention. This is one of the psalms you can pray when the people around you are cheering and celebrating your destruction, laughing and rejoicing because you're suffering and you're going through hard times. This is the psalm to pray when that's taking place. It's a psalm of perseverance, but it's also a psalm of endurance. It's a psalm of getting through hard times. It's a psalm of realizing that even though we go through these valleys, even though we go through these difficulties, God is in control. And we trust and we believe that He will come to our rescue. We believe that He will fight our battles for us. And we believe that He will vindicate us. So pray this psalm when you're going through difficult times. Pray this psalm when you're being persecuted. Pray this psalm when you're being judged wrongly. Pray this psalm when people are rejoicing in your misfortune. Pray this psalm when people are celebrating your downfall. And pray this psalm when the world is crashing down around you. And I hope this helps you. I hope this inspires you. And I hope this encourages you. Thanks for watching. God bless you. I'll see you next time.